Hello and welcome to Starting Over. I am Sarana Mitchell and I'm so excited to do this conversation. I have with me three people in the tech world. And yes, we're zooming over to the tech world in Starting Over because we're talking about AI and how are we going to pivot in an AI powered world. We're talking about starting over, yes, but with AI taking over, will we be able to start over? Good question, right? So, hence the reason for this discussion.
Your event, your vibe. Your DJ is DJ Smalls of Elite Sounds. Contact DJ Smalls on 473 406 1330 and email knsmalls83@gmail.com. Discover beauty with confidence at HD Lady Limited, Grenada's home for vegan, cruelty-free, high-definition cosmetics. Visit us at the Deco Building, Tempe St. George, or the Outlet Galleria Mall, Grand Anse. Shop online at hdladymakeup.com or order via WhatsApp at 473 406 2129 for convenient delivery or pickup. From professional makeup artistry to premium skincare and beauty education, HD Lady empowers your beauty your way. HD Lady Limited, confidence redefined.
So, I have with me three wonderful gentlemen, and I'm the only lady, so I say I'm Sarana. Gentlemen, take it over. Keshawn?
Hi, Serena. Thank you for having me. You want me to give a bit about myself?
Yes.
So my name is Keshawn Paul. And by profession, I'm an educational technologist and consultant. I work currently with the Ministry of Education as an IT officer, and I dabble quite a bit in the intersection of education and technology. And I've taken quite a liking to the topic of artificial intelligence, and I've made it more or less one of my focus to follow the trends that surround that particular technology. Because as you would have mentioned, it is taking over quite a bit of society. It's in our general consciousness as a society, and it's really hard to consider a future without thinking and pivoting towards how artificial intelligence plays a role in our lives and society in general. So I'm hoping to contribute as much as I could to this conversation with these esteemed gentlemen as well. So I really hope that persons that listen will be able to pull something of value from what we say there this evening.
Thank you so much, Keshawn. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Dabreo, who is no new face to this discussion.
Yeah, so I wear many hats. The name is Jervis Dabreo, and I think these days people hear the voice long before they see the face. I still describe myself as a teacher. I've been in technology for quite a while, all the way back to the 90s. So the gray hairs are not just for show. I believe I may very well be the oldest on the panel this evening, having lived through the 70s, 80s, 90s, the 2000s, and now in the 2020s. But I am about technology. As a parent, I have seen the effect, the impact of it through my children. But I also understand and appreciate how important it is. I get paid right now as a cybersecurity person within the National Cybersecurity Incident Response Team, but I still consider myself a teacher.
Well, thank you so much. And you're going to teach us about AI, the AI powered world this evening. All right. And now to the youngest person on our panel, Mr. Joshua Andall. Welcome.
Yeah, hi, good day, everyone. Thank you for having me. It really is an honor to come here and represent for the young people. Keshawn young too, eh? So I just put out there. Keshawn, both of us representing for the young people. Mr. Darby already say he out of the thing. So I can't fight for him. But my name is Joshua Andall. By profession, I'm a marketing and AI consultant. I'm actually one of the only ChatGPT verified chatbot builders in the Caribbean. I'm not sure how many they are, but I'm a verified builder with OpenAI. So that essentially means I create chatbots within their platform. Um, I also have, I would say, I've worked with development organizations like the OECS Commission, CARICOM, Commonwealth Secretariat, UNESCO on different initiatives pertaining to marketing, digital marketing specifically, policy development when it comes to artificial intelligence, just presentations, education on how to effectively and efficiently use artificial intelligence within an organization, how to adapt to it, how to integrate it, and how to accept it. Because the truth is, I mean, we know it's here. So it's just a matter of how you accept artificial intelligence and integrate it within your daily and work life. So I'm really excited to have this discussion.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Andal. Well, everyone's talking about youth and age. I'm a lady, so I shall not share my age, whether I'm young or old or middle. Okay, so at the beginning, the very beginning, we lay the foundation. In the simplest form, define AI for the viewers. Any one of you, just grab it. Okay, do I have to call? Since you laughed first, you go first.
I think there's a lot of different definitions for AI, but when I'm explaining, I simply say that artificial intelligence speaks about a computing system or machine that is capable of simulating human intelligence. So things I usually associate with humans, like thinking, reasoning, deliberation, being able to offer recommendations, it's simulated by a computer system. That's essentially what it is. So if you think about artificial, you think about simulated, synthetic. So it's more or less a synthetic form of intelligence that mirrors what humans can do. That is how I typically bring it across. I'm pretty sure my colleagues can offer some additions to that.
Simple enough. Anybody else?
Yeah, I do believe that's the perfect definition. Whenever I'm defining terms as Keshawn did, I like to break it up in two parts. So artificial and intelligent. So essentially what he said is 100% true. Just to reiterate it, like a computer system that would perform tasks that normally would require human intelligence. But since it's artificial, you're using a computer. So that's the most simple definition. I believe that the definition he gave is just base level, anybody can understand.
All right. So we're going to look at it if we talk about basic synthetic simulation of human behaviors and activities. So I'm going to the basic of human needs: food, clothing, and shelter. I'm just going to call those three. And Jervis just reminded me as we were talking before, we have to talk about connectivity, Wi-Fi as a need, right? Of course, we would also add there's also sex and entertainment in the needs. All right. Food, clothing, shelter, sex, entertainment, and connectivity. All right, which is Wi-Fi in this form. How is AI impacting these needs of our lives? If I'm in the food industry, I'm gonna use food first. I like food. So let's look at how food is being impacted by AI. What about food? If I'm in the food industry, what should I be worried about? How can I how can I use AI to better my food production or so? One or two, should I be worried about AI taking over my food? Let me hear.
All right. So if I may, right, I'm going to go back, way back. The industrial revolutions, each one of them have it targeted a specific area, right? There was something that we wanted to make more efficient. We wanted to make life better by addressing a specific thing. So you look at the steam engine, for example, it did not influence all aspects of our lives because it was not intended to do that. Yes, productivity and so things were altered. The guys who were making money from renting horses, they no longer were making that sort of money because now you had the steam engine, locomotion, that sort of thing. You look at what happened with the assembly line. Again, it was specific in terms of what it seek to address, to change. And with each of these, people lost their jobs. There were multiplier effects that were felt as a result of their introduction into our lives. With AI, it is a completely different beast. We have created something, as Kishan and Joshua mentioned, to simulate human intelligence, to think like us. Of course, we give it the information, we feed it. And we did not look at creating that sort of system targeting a specific area of our lives. We
And now it
wanted
takes over
something.
all our lives. That's
Right. We
yes.
wanted something that would help us to have more time, to relax, to do jobs for us across the board. And when you consider that that is what is at the core of this is what is driving the adoption on all the investments being put into AI, it is not just about a specific industry. I think what people now need to do is look at the space that you're in, and is it possible for AI or automation aided by artificial intelligence, that thinking aspect of the technology, to now replace you? So if you're in the food and beverage industry, understand that the people who had crazy skills in cake decoration, unless they're now using the machines to print the decoration, many of them are not getting the kind of work that they used to get. Because, I mean, you can't keep up with the machines that would print the Spider-Man and the Superman and so that the children want, right? There was a time when in the bakeries, you needed guys who could knead the flour, who could mix the dough. But most of these have long gotten rid of these muscular guys and they've traded it for machines. I mean, even in our homes, some of us, we have the kitchen maid and the bread makers and so forth. Only we're not just talking about these sort of old machines. We're talking about machines that are way smarter because of the infusion of AI into the equation. So my thing is it's not just about a particular industry. I believe it is all industries right now need to be paying attention to what is going on. I'm not sure how the other guys see it, but that is how I look at it in terms of what has happened before and what is unfolding right now before our very eyes.
Before we go any further, you said something about automation. No, back in the day, everyone had horses. Then cars, steam engine, and cars came along. Everyone has cars, and only an exclusive set of people have horses. So, and you were talking about the people needing the dough and all of that. There could be rise for an exclusive market for artisan breads. It already exists where you would spend money for artisan stuff. So what is happening, I'm thinking, is that with this whole AI powered world, is that we're going to have things that were inclusive becoming exclusive, and only a few can afford it, as with, for example, horses. As I was saying before, almost everyone had a horse back in the day. Now it's just the, you go, is very exclusive.
That's true,
Then
but when you talk artisan and you talk exclusivity, you're talking a minority. Talking about
Right.
a small group. If everybody is still kneading the flour and making the bread the old-fashioned way, that is not exclusivity. The question is for the big companies, the big bakeries, the larger ones here who employ X amount of people, are they going to still need that number of people in their bakery? Because business is about profit. It is about maximizing the amount of money coming in while minimizing the amount of money that is going out. And if the technology is going to allow for that to happen, they're not going to say, oh, well, I need, to employ people because they're humans and I am human. I do not know business people who think along those lines.
Yeah, it's all about the profit. Keisha, you want to add
I wanted
anything?
to I wanted to piggyback a bit on what Dabreo would have said, in that AI will definitely impact all industries.
I love soca. You love soca. Where you hearing soca? Livewire HD. Yes. If you love soca and calypso music as much as I do, log on to livewirehd.com or 101.1 FM. That's where you're getting soca music all day, every day. 101.1 FM, Livewire, soca first. Do you like this painting behind me? I know I do. I love it. It belongs to one of my friends who's an artist, John Henry, and he was so gracious to allow it to be a part of my set. And you know what? If you would like to have it in your home, you can. Okay? So, if you'd like to purchase it, message me and I'll put you in touch with John Henry.
But what we see right now on the landscape is that it's impacting some faster than others. So, for example, if you look at the knowledge industry, which typically includes, information, it initially we assumed that artificial intelligence systems would have taken over what we may call blue collar jobs. That was the initial thought. So things like plumbing and
That's a
construction,
good
we
job.
assume that an embodied AI would have taken these jobs before they took jobs from lawyers and doctors and engineers. But the truth of the fact is that we're realizing that the shift, first of all, or the industries that have become even more concerned, is a white collar industry, which is kind of a knowledge-based industry. So take, for example, now, there's a huge shift globally towards skills. And one of the reasons why there's such a shift towards skills is because there isn't much of a promise in the near future of embodied AI, which is robotics and artificial intelligence systems fusing as one. So it therefore means that in most cases, to secure your job for the future, people are looking now to do things with their hands, because the embodied AI is not ready as yet. Although China has quite a bit of advancement on that. As a matter of fact, China used AI to help with their challenge, which is, and Davi will help me on that. Somewhere in the 80s, China had what we call a one-child policy. And what that did is that it caused over time that particular demographic of persons, which might be the millennials and the Gen X's, they had a smaller population. So China knew that coming is a smaller work population. Even though there's a large amount of functional persons right now, coming is a smaller work population. So what China did was this. They pivoted. They used AI and embodied robotics to outfit their industries. So even though there's a smaller population of persons coming, there is now a set of artificial intelligent robots that are able to build cars, sew clothes, make toys to supplement the coming deficit of persons. I'm not sure if much of the Western countries are as capable or as prepared, But I think that China is on the cutting edge in that particular case, and their industries would have seen a far stronger disruption by AI. But coming back to the food question that you asked, I think that it really does depend on what part of the supply chain that person working in food is. So, take for example, that person making the cake. That is going to require some form of embodied AI. If AI is going to actually impact that person's job, they may have the advantage, and I'm going to allow Joshua to speak more on that on the marketing side of things. They may have the advantage of better marketing because of the tools that are available. But even more so, they may not be as concerned about their job being lost, unless, as Mr. Darius said, they don't take advantage of the creativity that AI can produce. The difference in a cake, how it may look, some new concept that may go viral. And as we know, virality now sells. It can increase. I mean, look at Dread Lion.
Oh yes, that was viral to the
I
max.
mean, virality gave both the entire career and a full steam locomotive engine of Grenadian soca throughout the world. So if they don't take advantage of the creativity offered by things like Nano Banana and OpenAI's ability to produce unique images, then they may fall behind their companions that are able to take advantage of virality and use the creativity of these models to produce something that may not have been seen or unknown before.
You know, as you were talking about robots, what came to mind is that I saw a piece online where the creator of RoboCop, the movie, is saying that it doesn't make any sense creating a new movie because AI is moving so fast. By the time the movie comes out, it will be outdated. And he's saying that he tried to warn the world since 1980s when it came out, the first came out, that this could happen. The robots could actually have a mind of their own and take over.
I think
Right?
you're speaking about James Cameron. That's the person that
Yes.
made Terminators.
Yes, right.
He did Wonderwall, and what he did say is actually coming to pass. But his focus was a lot more on embodied AI, which is who Terminator was. He was a machine that was artificially intelligent but able to interact in a three-dimensional world. But most of the AI right now that we experience is two-dimensional. It's behind a screen for the
What
most
we
part.
know, what we are aware of.
Yes, yes.
I think when you look at what is happening with Boston Dynamics, right, and even with Digit, um, robots are now doing a lot of things that they were not doing 2, 3 years ago. And again, the AI is driving that. Uh, Digit has cost tens of thousands of people their jobs, right? And you're talking about warehouse people, people who move boxes around. And you
Mhm.
have these machines. You're not talking a machine that only spray a vehicle. You're not talking about the machine that only put rivets on the body of a vehicle. You're talking about machines that are able to interact with the world around them and move things around just as a human being would. And this is early days. But you made a great point about James Cameron and the Terminator movies. Although I would want to go back further than the Terminator to the Jetsons. The
The flying
Jetsons, I
cars.
think, was released in 1965, I believe.
Yes.
And it looked at a world, it envisioned a world, I think it's 2035. We are in 2025, and
Mhm.
I believe almost everything that the Jetsons envisioned has come to pass. We have flying vehicles. We have cars that are flying, and there are a couple companies right now where you can pre-order. They actually look like cars, not those that sort of look like a plane that want to be a car. The Jetsons envisioned a machine that would actually print your food if you tell it what you want. We have the existence of Foodini. You tell it what you want, and it prints your food based on the cartridge that are there. And I'm talking edible food. I'm not talking, flat picture sort of thing. How communication happened? It was video conferencing. That's WhatsApp and Telegram and all these
And what
platforms
we're
and so
using now.
precisely. I think the one area that the Jetsons focus on that we haven't gotten to just yet is your car being able to fold into your briefcase. because they even had the house cleaner. And you look at things like the Roomba, I
Yeah.
think, that's the vacuum cleaner. But you look at what is happening in that space in Japan, in China, with companies like Honda, Toyota, some of them. Before too long, you're going to see capable humanoids. I mean, Tesla is doing an amazing job in pushing that. And I don't think we're going to have to wait until 2035 to see these things becoming commonplace within our communities and within our societies. Yes, it would take a while longer for Grenada to see it, but I believe within the next 5 years, by 5 years, 5 years' time, many of these things are going to be a reality. One, because of the amount of money invested in it. Two, because this is the new arms race. Whoever gets there first to artificial general intelligence, to marry in machinery and AI in a way that is not mechanical, but as close to human as possible, is going to win. And nobody is going to hold back and risk the other nation getting ahead of them. I'm not sure how Joshua sees it um, as the youngster among older guys and girls.
Joshua, let's hear what you have to say.
Yeah, so there were many thoughts, many thoughts that were brought forward. So much to dive into. But for me, the truth is, I mean, I'll start by saying this. There's a gigantic fear that AI is going to steal everyone's job. And I'm generalizing here. Everyone's saying AI is going to steal my job, and they're scared to embrace it as a result of that. However, I can't find the statistic or the research off the top of my head, but there was some research that was done following the advent of ChatGPT, or the introduction of ChatGPT, I would say, that actually proved that when it comes to, I would say, generative artificial intelligence, that which is what most individuals use, I mean, that can't really, the truth is there would always be some aspect or some sort of human intervention. So the solution would be essentially to not necessarily think of it as the AI is taking your job, but again, why was AI created? I like to ask why to a lot of things. Why was AI created? AI was created to assist, because if something is smarter than you, essentially, you would use it to assist you. So I believe that the individuals who, when they created artificial intelligence, their intention was to have it assist human beings or to enhance their natural capabilities. So with that being said, it's like if we use artificial intelligence in the way that it was most likely intended to be used, it's not a case of if our jobs would be taken away from us. It's a case of if how much more enhanced or efficient our jobs can be. Now, while it is, I can't deny the fact that there are some jobs that will be taken. But what I'm saying is that the large percentage that we're thinking that the jobs would be taken, for example, which is 40% of jobs being taken by artificial intelligence, the number is actually somewhere closer to, I would say, 5 to 10% of jobs. No, that's my personal opinion. Now, how do we fix that? We fix that by upskilling, and that is an extensive process that includes curricular reform. It includes government intervention through teaching programs, because you'd have to teach the teachers, then teach the teachers how to teach the students, and then teach the students, and then once you teach the students, you'd have to teach the parents, because everyone would need to know. It includes government as well as private sector interventions to actually educate individuals and upskill them to the point where AI doesn't necessarily take their job, but enhance and it makes it a bit more efficient. But again, there is the main fact that when it comes to certain technical manufacturing jobs in that specific industry, I mean, there are jobs that will be taken, but generally speaking, I mean, AI won't replace a secretary, because, well, when someone is shouting for the AI and the AI can't discern that emotional state, what is it going to do? They can't call back the secretary because they have already quote unquote fired the secretary. And that's one of the main things. AI, I mean, it isn't emotional. You know, AI isn't there's an argument that AI is now becoming conscious, but I mean, it's not conscious. And in the case, the truth is, in a lot of the jobs that are right now in the private and public sector, you require a bit of, I would say, sentience. Like you have to have the ability to feel in order to interact and execute. And AI doesn't have that at the moment. So because of that, in my opinion, because of that, AI won't take a lot of the jobs that we think it would take. But when it comes to how it affects our basic needs, that's a very broad question. And to answer it, I would just simply say it is extremely dependent on the use of artificial intelligence. But not only the use of artificial intelligence, but the adoption and integration of artificial intelligence within said economy. Right now in Grenada, we're very far from the adoption and integration of artificial intelligence, formally, I might add, because we have adopted it informally, but formally, we're very far from adopting and integrating it within our frameworks. So to respond to the question of how it would impact our basic needs here in Grenada, we need to first address how we're going to use it or how we are going to adopt and integrate it in the first place. Because if we can't answer that, then we have no need to worry about how it would formally address our basic needs. Of course, you have the arguments of a positive or a positive and negative. For example, you have if there are AI tools that can actually build houses now. There are a lot of machines powered by artificial intelligence that can build houses. Now you're arguing what's the purpose of, I would say, construction workers now? What would be their quote-unquote purpose? You can decrease costs, as Mr. Darby rightfully stated. Businesses are largely focused on profits. So in my opinion, it's like there would be positive and negative effects on our basic needs. However, those positive or negative effects are heavily dependent on our adoption and integration as an economy.
Your event, your vibe. Your DJ is DJ Smalls of Elite Sounds. Contact DJ Smalls on 473-406-1330 and email knsmalls83@gmail.com. Discover beauty with confidence at HD Lady Limited, Grenada's home for vegan, cruelty-free, high-definition cosmetics. Visit us at the Deco Building, Tempe St. George, or the Outlet Galleria Mall, Grand Anse. Shop online at hdladymakeup.com or order via WhatsApp at 473-406-2129 for convenient delivery or pickup. From professional makeup artistry to premium skincare and beauty education, HD Lady empowers your beauty your way. HD Lady Limited, confidence redefined.